Coming up on this episode of Common Denominator.
You know, I started off as a girl that was extremely insecure. I never played any sports. I always called out of PE. Never did I think that I was going to be an IFBB Bikini pro. But it's like you have to look at the staircase one step at a time, focusing on being 1% better.
Hi, and welcome to Common Denominator, where we shine a light on people striving to make the world a better place. Today, a fitness coach and competitor who wants to empower you to build a healthier lifestyle. Nathalie Cardona, aka Coach Nat, is a fitness and nutrition coach, a national bikini competitor, and a fitness and lifestyle model. But her journey hasn't been easy as she struggled with body dysmorphia as a child. Nathalie and I just finished our conversation, and what really stuck out in my mind is even though she had tremendous body image issues as a child, later in life she was able to master her mind and compete at the highest levels. Now, here's my conversation with Coach Nat. Enjoy. Hi, Nathalie, and welcome to Common Denominator.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
So, as a professional bikini athlete and a fierce competitor, it must be tremendous discipline, tremendous days that are completely organized. Take us through a typical day in your life. What does that look like?
So, on prep or not on prep?
Well, maybe both.
Completely different. So, I'm currently in the off season. Last year in July, almost a year ago, is when I turned pro. So I've been competing from 2020 to 2023 nonstop, or 2022 nonstop. This is the first year that I take an off season. So in prep and off season are a little bit different of a routine. When you're in prep, preparing for a competition, it's like you live, breathe, eat, sleep the sport, obviously, if you want to do well. So every day is pretty regimented when it comes to training, meal timing, cardio, and also owning a business. You have to be really smart in where you expend your energy, especially as you get deeper into prep. So what that means is when you are preparing for a competition, you are slowly decreasing your intake as you get closer to show to get as lean as possible. So it could be a 12-week preparation, 16-week. Smallest I've done was 4 weeks, but that was absolutely insane. I would never do that again. So wake up, do fasted cardio. Straight to do fasted cardio, don't even think twice. And then after that, make breakfast, have a meal, go train. I'm usually in the gym by 9 or 10. And then an hour and a half training session. Depending if I have to do more cardio, I'll stay for cardio. Going to the gym, I'm prepped with my food. It's like you can't skip a beat. Meal timing is so important. So I'll take my meal prep bag with my post-workout meal, have my post-workout meal in the gym, head home, start working. Another thing is keeping up with my steps. So I'll do daily walks. In between that, I'm working on my own business. So checking in with clients, filming content. And then as we get deeper into prep, usually after my workout, I'm pretty done for the day. So I'll just do basic computer work and then go to sleep, wake up, and do the same thing.
So how is the cardio portion? How's that, an hour of treadmill, or what's the cardio?
It usually it depends on the individual. So every prep is different. My very first prep, it was straight Stairmaster. And the most that I did, I believe, was 90 minutes a day towards the end of it. And I had the option of splitting it. So 45 minutes in the morning, 45 minutes at night. My second and third prep, we switched off of the Stairmaster because for me, it was causing a lot of inflammation, and we switched to the treadmill at an incline. And the most I ever did, my third prep, was 120 minutes, so 2 hours towards the end of it.
Wow. So, yeah, 2 hours, right, doing cardio is a lot of cardio. And then you mentioned in the gym. The gym is what, weights? Is that what it is?
Yeah, weight training.
So it's weight training. Is it the same parts of the body every day, or you switch off?
So I have a 5-day workout split. I'll do lower body twice a week, upper body 3 times a week, cardio every single day until show day. And we slowly increase over time. So that's the whole idea with a competition prep. It's you want to start off with doing as little as possible while still getting the most results. And as we get closer to show, we have to increase the intensity.
And then who prepares meals? What's the meal prep? Because I know my son, I was mentioning before the show, he's very specific with meals. Who does the meal prep? What does it consist of? What
So
does that look
I
like?
have a coach. I have a coach, and he gives me my meal plan, and I do all of the meal prepping. So I have my food scale, weigh out my portions, track everything. Everything is to the gram. Not one thing is missed.
And then how many meals a day is it?
5.
Wow. So it's 5 meals. Wow. So then
5 meals a day.
And then is there a sleep component too? Do you need a minimum amount of sleep?
Yeah, sleep plays a really big role in overall fat loss, which is not something that a lot of people really talk about. I feel like it's being brought up more now, the importance of sleep. But just to give you an example, one night it was towards the end of prep. I was extremely exhausted, hunger pains, which is, normal towards the end of prep. And I was tossing and turning all night. Next day I woke up and I was 6 pounds heavier than the day before. 6 pounds. So imagine a stressed out bikini competitor with a show in a couple of weeks, waking up 6 pounds heavier than her lowest weigh-in. Spoke to my coach about it, and he said, well, did you get any sleep last night? I said, no. He said, don't do any cardio today and get some rest. I'm like, are you sure? And me, I'm a Virgo. I take this sport so seriously. And I'm like, I can do more. I can keep on pushing. But that's why it's so beneficial to have a coach to kind of tell you to pull back. So I didn't do any cardio that day. I finally slept. The next day, I hit a new low. So it's like I dropped like 8 pounds overnight. Inflammation, cortisol decrease. Sleep is so important.
Cortisol, right. Cortisol, I've been hearing a lot about cortisol, how important that is. And that comes from getting quality sleep. So you get, you need that cortisol to burn. And right. So people can doing everything right. And to that point, they're just not sleeping. Sleeping is the time to recover.
Right.
Like spending the time to recover is no matter what you're doing. And I know I feel it. If I don't get exactly at least 7 hours of sleep, if it's even 6.5, my day's off. And, so I definitely recognize that. But, I mean, the regimen is super tough. We're all human. We're not robots. So I think about, like, how do you personally keep the right mindset in the mind frame? What is that, like, ultimate sustainable? How am I going to do it for a month, 6 months, a year, 5 years? How am I going to stay in the zone every single day? What is it for you? What's the conversation with yourself?
Right. So I like to call it a switch. So when I start my competition prep, a switch turns on. And a lot of people try to say, balance. Balance is everything. Well, for me, during prep, there's no balance. I have a mission to accomplish, and I kind of dip in and I dip out of it, right? So competition isn't forever. Competition is a 12 to 16 week commitment. So during those 12 to 16 weeks, first of all, before I even start preparing for a competition, I have to ensure that I'm in that mindset to commit. Meaning, nothing is going to get in the way of this. I can't really have, vacations coming up, all that stuff, because although I could do it, it's not going to be optimal for the mission at hand, which is getting to my absolute best come show day. So first step is making sure that I'm in the right mindset to commit for 12 to 16 weeks. Then when I make that decision, it's a decision that I chose to make. So every day, regardless if I don't want to do it, don't want to show up, I have to remind myself why I'm doing this and that it's not forever. Of course, there's days where I wake up and my legs feel like they weigh 100 pounds each because I had a hard leg day the day before. And then I'm waking up, I'm like, dang, I have to do 45 minutes of cardio on the Stairmaster today. And I have to train and I have to show up for my clients. It's mentally exhausting, physically exhausting, emotionally draining. But I always remind myself that when I get these tasks done, I always feel better. I always feel accomplished. And not every day is going to be rainbows and butterflies, but I mean, nothing worth having, it comes easy.
And I love that idea because I've seen that from everyone that has different success in different parts of life. It's kind of the why and then that mission. They'll always say the same thing. Whatever that happens to be for that person, it's no matter what. It's a no matter, like, who cares how I feel? But what piece of advice would you give for someone, starting off? I always know, like New Year's resolution, right? So it's like 95% of New Year's resolutions after 2 months, done. What practical, like all these crazy bad habits that you've been used to, and all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I want to get in shape. I want to do this. I want to do that. What practically, because it's always the start. I always find that start and then going from the start and then sustainably maintaining that. What mindset would you advise somebody just wanting to, but the mind plays crazy tricks on you?
Yeah, I love that question because It's something that I talk to my girls about all the time. So I have a Facebook group. We call each other the girl gang members. And I have women that come to me every single day with that same struggle. It's like, I have a goal, but I always, fall off. What do I do? And I actually have it tattooed on my forearm. I actually got this during my last prep, and it's 1% better. When you start a journey, it's so easy to get caught up in how far you have to go to get there, right? So coming from my background, I started off as a girl that was extremely insecure. I never played any sports. I always called out of PE. Never did I think that I was going to be an IFBB bikini pro. But it's like you have to look at the staircase one step at a time, focusing on being 1% better. So instead of trying to change all of these things all at once, let's take it back to the very first thing that you can do today. It's not enough to say, I want to lose weight. If it was enough, then you wouldn't have gained the weight in the first place. It's why do you want to lose that weight? For who is it? Who do you want to become? Get really clear on that. And then what's the next step? And then just taking it one thing at a time.
Yeah, I love that. We had a guest, and I keep mentioning it because it's really great, is you just kind of come to this point of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? And then you have that moment of clarity. Let me reflect. Why is this just not, why is it not happening? Is there any kind of spiritual practice or intention, kind of before you go to sleep or when you wake up first thing in the morning, that you kind of put in the right mindset before you, your daily routine?
I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I've read a lot of personal development books. And every single day, I just feel like it's you choose everything that you do on a daily basis. My 6th grade teacher, before having us leave class every day, she was like, before the bell rang, you had to say life is full of choices. And at the time, I didn't understand why she was making us say that. I was in 6th grade. I just wanted to get to lunch already to hang out with my friends. But now looking back, yeah, it's so true. Every day you have the option to choose to be happy, to choose to make the right decision that's going to help you get to your goal. So it's like the first thing that I do every single morning is I don't check my phone. I make my bed, I walk my dog, I'm phone free, distraction free, and I'm setting my intention for the day. Today, these are my tasks. This is my power list. I write it down once I get back home, and then at the end of the day, I just cross them all off. Next day, do the same thing.
I think for the listeners, super important, what I've realized in reality is, just like you were saying, you were calling out a PE, and it's never, so there's the system, right? There's the box. But to raise to championship levels, I remember the story about Michael Jordan. He didn't even make his high school team. It's like the people, it's people far, 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 and everybody wrote them off. It's far, far, far away from the bell curve. So in order to get extraordinary results, you have to do things every single part of the day that regular humans are not doing, if that's what you want in the one life that you have.
Right.
So, I love that you do that. You made that commitment, and I see that. It's like even the free time, it's like, okay, I'm exhausted mentally. I'm not sitting there flipping through Netflix. I'm listening to podcasts that motivate me. And things like, this is my choice to better myself every single day of every single moment. So appreciate that. If you're just joining us, you're listening to the Common Denominator podcast. My guest is fitness and nutrition coach Nathalie Cardona. Next week, I'll speak with nationally renowned DIY expert Dinah Wolf, who has some fun DIY projects for you and your family this summer. DIY is a great way to bond with your loved ones and give your home and your life a style upgrade in the process. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Now, back to the show. I want to, just because a complete layperson of the actual fitness competitions. So what does that look like? Where is it? Is it certain amount of months? Where in the world are these competitions being held? What does it entail?
So there's the amateur side, which is the NPC, and then there's the professional league, which is the IFBB. There's shows all the time, and especially here in South Florida, there's shows all the time. As far as how long a competition prep is, usually, so it depends on what your starting point is. So I haven't competed in a professional show yet. This is my off season, meaning that next year will be my official pro debut. And now I'm at the bottom of the bucket again. So I'm starting off from scratch. What it looks like for people who are just starting or interested in the sport. So you'll first have to choose your division. So for females, I'm obviously a bikini athlete, but we have wellness, we have figure. So you first choose your division. Second, you choose a show date. Make sure you have a good coach. Because that's the thing that people don't understand, especially now I'm seeing young competitors. It's very glamorous on social media, this competition world. It's not so glamorous, the process. It's actually extremely hard on your body, mental health. And then come show day, it's actually not that glamorous either. I bet you didn't know that females had to use a pee cup in order to use a bathroom because of the tan. Like, it's not that glamorous. So we choose a show date, and then we just start preparing every single day until that show date.
Yeah, that's what Instagram and social media has done. It made things look so glamorous and seemingly, and unfortunately, it seems like the youth are following that immediate gratification. Oh, that's so easy. This guy has it great. And in reality, they always say that it's the guy in the back of the room, doesn't say a word, super quiet, and it's always that person that knows, and all the people with the noise. That's what I call it, noise.
Noise.
They're all just sitting there, and it's unfortunate because there's only three ways. There's only extreme, specific, targeted work every single day over a very, very long period of time, or you hit the lotto, or you get an inheritance, but statistically 98% of the time that's gone in 2 years. So if you want a normal, healthy life, you have to work towards goals, short and long-term goals over a very long period of time.
Every single day.
Right? So I definitely know that. So are people coming in these competitions from all over the world? And
Yeah.
is that what it is?
Yep.
And then is it like cutthroat? Is that the environment?
So I've competed in multiple shows, and I've had different experiences. I've had experiences where, girls are catty in nature in general, and backstage. At the end of the day, it is a competition. So at my first competition, it was like hard looks and girls looking you up and down. But then at the national level, everybody was so nice. So you get both sides of the coin. In my personal opinion, although yes, it is a competition, if you look at me hard backstage, it's not going to affect our placing. So having good sportsmanship is important to me.
And I love that also because it's very lonely on the journey, because what it is on each level as you're moving through, you're peeling back layers. Unfortunately, it could be old friends and family and things, but what actually ends up being what you're saying on the national level, meaning the top of the top, and what that's and find in business in reality, if you're able to have the conversations, there's such a tremendous amount of gratitude and niceness and good people. They just protect themselves because people have just been attacking them. But if you're able to have vulnerable, truthful conversations, the people have worked really, really, really hard, and they know what it takes. They know it's not them, the real people.
Yeah.
On the top levels of any competition. I mean, the things that I've seen, and they really want to help people that really want to at least do the work themselves. So I've seen that a lot. As far as your own personal nerves, I know like competing. How do you deal with like day of competition nerves?
So it's funny. My first show, I actually have this documented somewhere. So it's true. You can pull up the video. I literally said as soon as I was about to step on stage, I said, I am so scared right now. I've never experienced this, but with fear, we're going to do it anyways, right? All you can do is control your journey up until show day. So although I was nervous, although I didn't know what to expect, I knew at the end of the day that I left no stone unturned during my competition prep. Every workout was with intention. Didn't slip up on my diet one time. Cardio was, intense as well. So come show day, all that's left to do is have fun. Like the work is already done. You can't stop show nerves. So for me, I just put on my headphones and I listen to some Eminem backstage, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah. And I don't know also you do some coaching.
Yes.
How is that working with other people, giving over your knowledge to other people? How is that for you? How is that for your clients?
So funny enough, I don't do any bikini prep clients. I just coach lifestyle clients, and it has been the most gratifying experience of my life. Being able to help a woman go from lost, stuck, frustrated, not confident to getting unstuck, feeling confident again, eating the foods that they love, and just radiating with happiness every single day and getting that message. Oh my gosh, you changed my life. Or you helped me see food in a different way. What else could you ask for? I don't know of many careers that are as gratifying as this, because you get to have conversations with with a person every single day, and you know that you're making a difference. So I get to help them with their mindset. I get to help them, of course, with their workouts and their food, but I also get to show them that fitness can be fun. It doesn't have to be miserable. I kind of show that because I'm a bikini competitor, but that's why I coach lifestyle clients.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that. But I want to go back. Always go to that why. Tell us about how you got into this. I know you had some issues, body image issues as a kid, and then how you kind of broke free from that.
Yeah, so I grew up Hispanic. In a Hispanic household, food is part of our love language. And I grew up having plates with mountains of rice and fried food and just like an abundance of food. And my mom's side of the family is more overweight than my dad's side of the family. And I grew up watching my mom absolutely terrified of gaining weight. And, saying things like, I had rice yesterday, so I'm not going to have rice today. And just this negative relationship with food that I didn't realize I was embodying these behaviors at a very young age. I was looking at my body at a very young age. 14, 15, 16. I was looking at myself in the mirror and twisting and turning and pulling at skin and not really knowing why I didn't look like these girls walking down South Beach, So what got me into fitness was I was insecure. I wanted to change my body. I wanted to lose stubborn belly fat. And I didn't know the best way to go about it. I didn't have access to all of these resources that people have nowadays. It's just whatever the magazine said. And at the time, I remember I was flipping through a magazine and it said, get a flat tummy in like 60 days. Give up rice, bread, carbs, sugar, abs every single night. And you got to do as much cardio as possible. I said, okay, I'm in it. So I did sit-ups every single night. I gave up eating carbs. I would limit myself to 3 small meals a day. And my dessert was like a Dannon Light and Fit Greek yogurt. I was miserable. Miserable. Didn't have any energy. And I was not getting any closer to the way that I wanted to look. So it was years of this. I actually ended up driving myself to having an eating disorder because of this. It was like constant under eating during the week, overeating on the weekends. Monday would come. I would feel frustrated. I would try to be good again. It was just that cycle, that a lot of women go through. So it wasn't until I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I'm like, girl, you got to do something else. Clearly, this is not working. And I remember this one day I was scrolling on Instagram and I saw a picture of this guy with abs and he had his shirt lifted and he had donuts and pizza. And he said, yeah, you can look like this while eating your favorite foods. And he was talking about macros and flexible dieting. I'm like, what the heck is this sorcery? I'm like, you mean I can eat this stuff and like look like? I didn't buy it. I was so skeptical at first, but I had tried everything already. I said, I'm going to try it. I'm going to do this. And when I tell you that within the first 4 weeks of tracking my intake, of eating more of the right foods, eating more protein, actually fueling my body, I not only felt better, I performed better in my workouts, I had more energy, but I actually started changing my body composition as well. And that's when I had that light bulb moment. It's not about eating as little as possible and doing as much cardio as possible. It's about actually fueling your body with the right foods. And tracking macros helped me overcome my eating disorder, helped me overcome my negative connotation towards food as either good or bad. And I actually started eating the foods that I loved in moderation, in portions that were for me and my size for Nathalie. And the results just kept coming. I was addicted. And then I wanted to show women, hey, this is what you actually have to do. And that's when I started coaching. That's
completely counterintuitive to what society says.
Exactly.
But it does completely work. I see my 2 oldest boys, 17 and 15, and that's what they're doing. They're tracking their macros and they're really disciplined. And then hopefully you get a coach that understands holistically you could be healthy. You don't have to do crazy stuff and have a normal lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I definitely appreciate that. What's something that you're deeply grateful for?
I am grateful for my ability to always keep going, no matter how hard the journey gets. which is why I got this tattooed on my hand. Yep.
It's very, it's a very unique mindset that you have, and it only grows over time. If you keep putting in that work, that just becomes your habit and ritual, as I say. To do the hard work, process and procedure over like theory and abstract. It's every day. You're just doing that, and it just becomes natural.
Yeah.
It becomes seemingly natural, right, to the outside, and then you start compounding.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations on that. And what is something about you that people don't know?
I don't know. I feel like I share so much.
I noticed you came into the studio with your puppy.
Yeah, everybody knows Virgo.
Right. So Virgo, I was curious for us, what Virgo service dog for?
A task retrieval.
Task retrieval.
So something that people don't know is that I actually wanted to be a veterinarian growing up.
Oh, there you go.
I wanted to be a veterinarian growing up, and I have all my prereqs because I wanted to go to school. From being a veterinarian, I thought I wanted to be a veterinarian, and then I went to my first internship, and I saw them do a surgery on this Yorkie that got attacked by a boxer. And the veterinarian nicked an artery, blood was going everywhere, and at that moment I knew, I'm like, I love animals, but I cannot be trusted to save one's life. So I'm like, I already have all the prereqs for medical school. And then I switched my idea. I'm like, I'm just going to be an anesthesiologist. I hated organic chemistry, so then I just got my degree in dietetics and nutrition.
Wow. I love that, Nathalie. It's really been informative. Again, I love the headspace that you're in and actual practical, because everything's about execution. Having that plan and execution. So thank you for inspiring and sharing that. How can people learn more about you, follow you on social?
So they can find me at Nathalie CFit across all social media platforms. And if they're trying to get started with their weight loss journey, cravingconfidencechallenge.com. I do a free 5-day challenge for women who are looking to lose 10 to 30 pounds without giving up desserts.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thanks. Hope you enjoyed my conversation with Nathalie. Next week, I'll chat with Dinah Wolf. Dinah is a DIY guru and the founder of DIYinspired.com. If you want expert advice on how to level up your home, throw parties, make crafts, spruce up your garden, and more, make sure you tune in. Please subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode, and follow me on social media at @mpopack. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon.